Lifting family, welcome back. This is Lifting Dad checking in from Exercise Express USA, where I am the co-owner, located here in Saginaw, Michigan. So today's video is going to be on 3 tips to help reinvigorate or reignite your diet. Probably fallen off track at some point within the dieting process. It happens to everybody. That is one of the key things that people need to realize, is that everyone has a fall off point in their diet. Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's not. Things just kind of get outside of your control. And so there's a few things that you can do to help get this on track. And the first one, boom, up here, is knowing that it's going to happen. The biggest thing that is the most important piece when it comes to dieting is knowing that getting off track happens, and it happens to everybody. It doesn't matter how many hashtags you use and how many Team No Days Off posts you make. The things that occur are life. There's things that come up. I mean, for me, most recently, it wasn't really like a life occurrence. It was just the fact that I'm a dad, I'm a husband. There are certain times within dieting where you need to kind of take a break, or at least be able to factor that into your program, to where you can take breaks. Get it in your mind that everybody has this happen within the dieting process, and everybody has this issue. So, number 2 is flexibility. The biggest thing is flexibility in your diet, and especially as a dad. Unless you're a loner and you just keep to yourself all the time, you're going to have a social life, and maybe all of your friends are fit. That might be a process that occurs because you've selectively reduced down your friends to the ones that are fit, and then kind of eliminated the rest as just more or less acquaintances. To each their own, but to me that's not life. If you are sacrificing everything for this, something is wrong. Unless you're Phil Heath, these people would have to have a lifestyle that is focused on that goal, because they are Olympians. Phil Heath being the crown champ. Those are things where you might not be able to make certain sacrifices, and you're going to have to limit down your social circles so that you aren't influenced in a negative way. For everybody else, I wouldn't deem that as a negative. I wouldn't deem your friends wanting cheeseburgers with bacon on them a bad thing. That's not something that everybody is going to do, and that's okay. Your friends have the ability to make the choices that they want to make, and you can have influence over them, but it's not a controlled influence. It's just something where they might want to look like you, or they might want to trend in your direction, and you need to show them that that's possible. So that's also a level of responsibility that you have as somebody that is part of the fitness community. You have a responsibility to make sure that people understand that this is just that the path you can kind of stray from the path and still get back on the path, rather than it just having to be this straight and narrow path that you go down as far as dieting goes. You can have some leniency. That means that as far as flexible dieting goes, that does not mean Pop-Tarts and ice cream all the time, but those are things that are going to happen. And again, understanding that at certain points the diet may derail, but you need to have this, you need to have that in mind as far as it goes. You need to have some flexibility in there, because otherwise, if you get so focused on that narrow path, all of these other influences start to become stressors, and that's another thing that is a really huge problem when it comes to dieting, is enabling these stressors to kind of take over the diet. The third and final point is going to be, your diet is generally on it's not on a 24-hour time frame. The concept of time is something that we've kind of developed. I mean, being in a 24-hour window is something that we're focused on because that's our day-to-day, but in reality, it can span over 3 days. I mean, as far as things go, if you're going to have a really long weekend, you might be taking a day before that weekend to kind of allow yourself some additional calories over the weekend, and then the same thing coming off of that. So the day after your vacation, maybe 2 days after your vacation, you've kind of allowed yourself this average as far as dieting goes. So Friday, You might cut your calories by 25% or 50%. We'll say a 3-day scale or a 3-day time frame to be able to allow your body to kind of average out those days. So if you eat 2,500 calories in a day, Friday you might have 1,250, and then Saturday you're going to have 3,125, and then Sunday 3,125, or somewhere within that mix to where you're getting an average of the same amount of calories that you had over your previous 3-day period. You could span it into 4 days or break it up into 2 segments of 3 days to where you have one extreme diet day with 2 overages, and then maybe the third or that fourth day you would have a little bit of a deficit beyond what you normally have. You should not be having alterations as a consistent measure within your diet, because that can create a lot of inconsistency unless you possibly have it to where you have off days where your calories are reduced a bit more. But even that is going to have some regularity to it, to where you're used to that 5 days with higher calories, 2 days with lower calories, or however that's set up. But the big goal is kind of looking at averages and making sure that you account for the fact that sooner or later your diet's going to kind of go off the course a little bit, but you can get back on course. That is all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Please remember to smash that thumbs up, click that like button. I do appreciate all of your support there. Please remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Thank you so much to all the subscribers to the channel. And please also remember to share this video. Shares definitely help with increasing the subscriber base and bringing more people into the channel. That is all. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.